Hello, beautiful one. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to Business by Design podcast. Your next level starts here. This is the 10-minute reset for women entrepreneurs who know there's another level waiting for them. Hi, I'm Valerie Priester, your host and your mindset and strategy catalyst. Each week, you'll get two essentials: a mindset reset to quiet the self-doubt that keeps you circling the same plateau, and a strategic architect move, a practical step you can plug into your business before the episode even ends. Listen, this is what I promise. No fluff, just focused clarity so you can trade busy work for purposeful and powerful momentum. Are you ready? Let's design your victory starting now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Business by Design. I am so super excited to be joined by a wonderful guest today. As you know, I've started adding at least one guest a month on Business by Design podcast because I figured you guys are tired of hearing my voice. So I'm going to add some flavor and some more conversation with people to the podcast every month. And so this month I have the pleasure and the honor of welcoming Deb Monfette. So let me tell you a little bit about Deb. Deb is a business brilliance, I love that, high-tech coach and creative strategist who helps high-performing entrepreneurs simplify their business, align with their strengths, and scale with more ease, clarity, and connection. I am all about all of that. With over 30 years of experience, including working with brands like Playtex, Warner Brothers, and Google. Deb now helps purpose-driven coaches and service-based entrepreneurs get their time back, attract aligned clients, and make more money doing what lights them up. Now that speaks my language all day long. Her proven ACE, is that how I pronounce it?
AC.
AC system, blends intuitive creativity and strategic simplicity, proving that scaling doesn't have to mean sacrificing your soul. Ooh, that's so juicy, Deb. That is so juicy. And as Deb says, your greatest edge isn't a tactic, it's you. I love that even more. Welcome, Deb. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Valerie. I'm really excited to be here with you.
Good. So Deb and I met. How did we meet?
We met at a networking event.
Yeah. Was it the Alignable networking event?
I think it was.
Yes.
So many networking events that it's.
I know. I always try to go back to
like,
how did we meet? But I immediately was connected to you, Deb, by your message and what you do and how you help individuals, because we kind of serve some of the same people, and our messaging is pretty much aligned, right? And that just connected with me immediately. Plus your spirit. I mean, I could feel it. I know that you're genuine. I know that you're there to really help other individuals to really be in alignment and build these businesses that they love and not feel like they're building something that someone says they should build, right?
Right.
So how long have you been in your business and helping individuals?
Well, I have a corporate background, so I've always been one to jump into new things. So I've done digital transformation since the 80s. And my first clients, I worked with a startup after graduating from Carnegie Mellon. And the startup was taking conventional canned packaging into digital. So my clients were Gillette and Coca-Cola.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like a celebrity then.
I don't know about that.
I love it. So what led you to now this space where you are now?
I just went through one innovation to another.
Mhm.
And it once 9/11 hit,
Right.
everything just kind of, fell apart. And I said, I think that maybe the universe is telling me that I need to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
So, and I had at that point, I just had a baby, and my daughter was preemie.
Okay.
So she was like so tiny. She like fit from the palm of my hand to below my elbow.
Oh,
It was,
wow.
and I couldn't put her in a daycare right away. So I ended up consulting I was working for Avid at the time, and that's where I had worked for some projects with Warner Brothers.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so I was doing consulting, and then 9/11 hit, and then they had to let go of everybody.
Ah,
And so I said, that's where I need to make a change. And it took me several years to figure it out.
mhm.
And I finally landed in content marketing.
Okay.
And I did that. I've done that for like 12 years, 13 years with
Okay.
corporations from high tech to smaller corporations. And Google was one of my clients, Intel, a couple, a bunch of other clients. And I still have that business today. But once again, COVID hit.
And now we shift again,
Yeah,
right?
I lost contracts again. And I said,
Yeah.
I'm tired of this. I've worked too hard all my life to,
Mhm.
have these one-off things or contracts where they just die and
Right.
I'm left out in the cold. I
Right.
said, I'm really meant for more than this. So somehow, I don't even recall how it happened, but I got into entrepreneurship and I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. So I jumped into a year-long entrepreneurship.
Whoa.
And it was really an eye opener.
Yeah.
Even though I had my own business in content marketing, it was entirely different because I had my own thoughts and my own system that I wanted to introduce to corporations,
Right.
but it's hard to do that because they have their own departments, they have their own mindset. So I had a concept called the center concept, which is my idea was keeping the customer at the center
Ah, I love
of
it.
your business, of your
Right.
marketing, because I always had to do that when I was working with these new companies because it's changing their whole organization around. So
Right.
you have to be very open and very adapt to what they're thinking and what they're doing. And so I was trying to bring that into marketing. So it was the center process of connect, engage, nurture, trust, educate, repackage. And then I had to add on a PS, plan and share, because I forgot those two.
Okay. NPS. Okay.
So it was a very long, long framework.
Right.
So once I hit on the entrepreneurial space, I was just mind boggled by all the people that were very confused. They were given all this information, and it was like walking on glass because
Yeah.
there was so much information. Even I was getting nervous about it. There was just too much, and they were guiding me to go back to corporate. They
Ah,
said, as an entrepreneur, you should work with corporations because that's what you know. And if you know me, I like to do new things. And if
right.
I'm going in a direction, like I'm not afraid of new things. So
Right.
why would I go back? But I thought, well, they may know better than me. So I took a
Mhm.
whole year and I just suffered through it.
Ah,
And in the end, I said, I don't really want to do it this way. So
yeah.
then I took another year and I stepped back while I was doing my content marketing business. I stepped back and said, this doesn't feel right.
Mhm.
And so all these things kept coming out into a different type of program or a different type of framework.
Right.
I consolidated that into something simple. It's
Mm,
like business doesn't have to be complex. You
yeah.
don't have to get people like so confused and they end up don't even liking they don't like
Right.
what they're doing in the end. So
Mhm.
I realized that people don't leave space for things. They
Mhm.
cram things. They try to cram like their mindset with other people's frameworks. They
Right.
try to follow other people's templates and follow
Right.
other people's steps. When
Right.
in reality it may work for other people, but in their heart it doesn't work for them. And then they wonder why they fail. And
Yeah.
it's not a matter of failing, it's just because they were on the wrong path.
Yes.
So I came up with something called the CS effect, creating space.
Okay.
Because first of all, like you had said, your business starts with you. It doesn't start with your customers and your clients. It doesn't start with other people. It starts with you. You have to create the space to know, as I call them, your signature strengths
Mhm.
and start from there. So
Yes.
in the CS effect, there are three things that a person has to think about: simplicity, clarity first, simplicity, and creativity. And you need
Yes.
all three in your life and in your business.
Mhm.
You need the clarity. Otherwise, you're never going to move forward. You're not going to understand your messaging. You're not going to know who your unique clients are. You're not going to know what you want to really do and to help people. And once you have that clarity, then you can simplify it so people really understand it and get it. And you're not steeped in all this crazy stuff. And then you really need space for creativity, because I'm a incredibly creative person. And if I don't leave space, I can't think right. I can't, I'm not as successful because I haven't left the space for the creativity.
Yeah, that makes
And then
perfect sense.
magic happens when you have all three. So
Yes.
that's what I like to help people with.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I can so relate to that because after almost 17 years now in business, I have gone through all of that. All of that, especially in the beginning, starting out. Like I started my journey as a Christian life coach because I wanted to really
Oh,
help
wow.
women to live a better life, right? And to understand who they are and know their power, know their gifts, all of those things. While it was good for a moment, the next iteration was
Yeah.
going to the business side, right? And I did the same thing that a lot of people do is like listen to different coaches and they suggest, well, you should do this because you have this gift or this, not gift, but strength or skill, and this is what you should coach on, right? So I remember one coach telling me, because I have a background in project management in corporate, she says, well, you should teach on productivity, coach on productivity, because it's lucrative, right? You can make money doing that. I was like, doesn't make my heart
Not
sing though.
happening.
Right. So it's like, no, I don't want to coach on that. In fact, when I left that, I left that. I didn't want to bring that in the
Exactly.
future
Yeah.
and start teaching on that. No, I don't want that. And then it was, I think someone's tried to convince me to do time management, right? I'm like, no, I'm great at all that stuff, but that is not what makes my heart sing. And then I got pulled into the business side because the people that were coming to me were women who wanted help with their coaching businesses. And I don't know why, because I wasn't even talking about business ever. But the coach I had at the time was like, well, it's because they see what you have out there, your stuff works, it looks good, blah, blah, blah. They want what you have, and they haven't made that step where you are. And so they want to know, how do I get there? How do I get to where you are? And I was kicking and screaming. I did not want to go into being a business coach. I'm like, nope, it's not what I want to do. So I accepted. I went in, started doing the business coaching. But what I learned later is what really lights me up is the mindset piece. And so that's why I landed where I am today with mindset and business strategies, because I do believe, like you, that you must have aligned strategies that align with not only your strength, but your core values and how you want to show up and how you want to impact and present yourself to the world. If they're not aligned, it's difficult for you to be consistent with them. And it's difficult for you to actually do them at any level of execution that will give you clear results. And so that's why I landed where I am today. So I could resonate with everything that you're saying, everything that you're
That's
saying,
so good.
right?
You know,
Everything that you're saying.
and the interesting thing is, it's really about your energy and your vibration. And it does affect that if it's not aligned. And it's so,
Absolutely.
and I think people don't give it enough priority. And
Yes.
that should take priority over everything.
Everything else. And clarity is
Yeah.
key
Yeah.
because I had spent so many years going around and around in circles because I didn't have clarity. I was just trying some things because
Right.
people said you should do this, right? Or
Exactly.
people, the coaches I had a cookie cutter way of doing it. And that's why I don't like those things now. But it kept me spinning for years because I didn't
Sure.
have clarity in number one, what mattered most to me and what lit me up when I talk about helping women. What is it that I want to really help them do? And once I kind of got that clear, everything flows. Everything flows. So
It's
I can so
amazing.
relate. Yeah, I can so relate. So who do you work with mainly?
I work with, I call them premium clients. And when I say premium, I mean the mindset part.
Hmm.
They may not have the mindset. They may not have like the level of where they want to be yet. They may not have the money level, but they have the mindset. They want to move forward. They don't want to stay stuck.
Right.
That you get through, what their challenges are, but then they want to move on. And
Hmm.
those are the people I want to work with because I have a mission, and my mission is called the Brilliance Revolution.
Okay.
And I want to help 1,000 plus
I saw
um,
that.
modern entrepreneurs create a world where everyone uses their brilliance to help others grow, belong, and matter.
I love that. I love that's a great movement. That's a great. How's it going?
Thank you. I, I'm I'm getting more legs now.
Good.
I
Good,
have
good,
my
good.
message down. I have like I had to have so many things in place before I felt really good about getting
Right.
out there, in a great visible way, because
Right.
I was doing like, of course, coming from corporate minimum viable products,
Right.
like
Right.
doing workshops and different things to
Yeah.
validate what I'm doing, and I'm ready to just go big
Go big. Yeah.
because I've
So
seen
you
it
kind
help.
of
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen it help too many people in ways that I didn't even realize
Exactly.
could help.
Exactly. Yeah. So you kind of coached yourself
I
through
did.
your own process.
Yeah.
But isn't that so true that I've heard it said many times that we teach what we need, right? And
Yeah.
and we do. We really, really do. And oftentimes the thing that we teach, the thing that is closest to our heart is the thing that we also need. And so we're able to teach
Yeah.
it and then empower ourselves even more to then in turn be able to help others to reach their goals. I love it.
And the
Good.
thing is that we've gone through like a lot of the rocks, so to speak. And so you can help other people kind of shortcut that,
Mhm.
because what we've learned isn't something that you learn overnight.
Yeah, that's right.
It takes a while to put it all to connect the dots and put it all together.
Absolutely.
So it's amazing. Like I just had someone say, you helped me in like 2 days. Like this is like magic. I was confused for months
Yeah.
and I had no idea how I would get through it. So it's a big deal.
It really is. It really
Yeah.
is. And sometimes we, if we're not careful, we can take it for granted and
Yeah.
think that, oh, well, certainly everybody knows this. Not really. Not really. It's your thing, right? It's your gift. It's your talent. And not everyone knows it. Even if they know it, they may not know how to get there. And
Right.
that's why you're here. That's why you've been put in this space to be able to provide that. So yeah, that's good. I love it. I
And
love
even
it.
when you work with someone, like I was working with someone, it was a workshop, and I had a couple people in there, one gentleman, and I was marketing to women. And he
Yeah.
said, "Why are you marketing to women? I need some help." I said, "I'm not opposed to
I'm
men
not opposed
at
to helping.
all. It's
Right.
just that I was focusing my niche like everyone tells me I need to do." I
Yes.
am so welcome to have you. And he ended up being like one of my best testimonials. He actually hired someone within his company because he found a gap that was missing.
Yeah.
And then there was another woman in there that complained about everything from tech to, I had a little tech glitch, and then I had a workbook glitch. And
Right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like everything she was complaining about. And I thought, what am I doing wrong?
Nothing.
And it ends up being like she left the program, and a month later she messaged me and said, I need to thank you. You just saved me a ton of money and time. I realize what you're doing now, but it took her a month.
Yeah.
So sometimes people just need, again, the space to
Mhm.
process.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because mindset's so key to this,
Yeah.
to anything that you're trying to do, and especially if you're trying to grow a business. You have to have the right mindset. And what I find is often when people um, enter into something and it doesn't really fit their mode or what they think it should be, and when they create that resistance against it, it blocks their learning. Then you really can't learn because if you had a tech glitch, right, or a workbook glitch, that's minor compared to where you really need help. So, how do we get over that and keep moving forward? As my grandmother used to say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yes, definitely.
Right? Take what you need, leave the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, when people are ready, and I love that you said premium clients who have the mindset. They may not be where they want to be, which is most of our clients.
Most.
They
Yeah.
have the mindset to know I want more and I want better. And I know that I need help in order to get there. Those are absolutely premium clients,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So, what has been your greatest lesson as it pertains to aligning with your strengths?
I would probably say when I don't, things just go in the wrong direction and I end up hitting like something will just drop. Like I'll lose the clients, even in my content business.
Right.
All of a sudden, everything is going, and then all of a sudden, I lose the project. It's like, and I
Wow.
used to say, "What am I doing wrong?" But I
Right.
don't say that anymore
Mhm.
because there's something that, the universe is telling me that I need to do. Again, create space for where
Yes.
I need to go.
Yeah.
So something else, I need to leave space for something else to come in. So
Right.
it's not something that I did,
Right.
it's something else.
That's true. That's so very true. And you
Like if
believe, like I believe, that we have to release the shoulds. You
I
should do
should,
it this way, or you should do that, or you should do that. And we certainly have to release the whole cookie cutter ways of
yeah,
doing things, right? It's something that I definitely have spoken against for quite a while now because I again encountered how it affected me and how it delayed my ability to reach clarity because I was so busy trying to do what they say you should do and the way they say you should
let's
do
say.
it, right? So speak to that, like what's your experience with that, number one, and then how do you help people to like get on the other side of that and realize that they don't have to do the shoulds or the cookie cutter ways?
Like you, I have gone through all of that for
Yeah,
years. And not many people tell you about that.
right.
You have to kind of experience it
Hmm.
yourself.
Hmm.
But now that I know what's happened there,
Hmm.
I've taken a step back and I can help other people because, if someone tells you, like in my new process,
Hmm.
it's the ACEE. So it's
Right.
there are three things that you need in your business.
Okay.
And really, this is it. And it started out with content, but then I expanded it. So the three things are action, creative experiences, and education.
Mm.
Dial that in to your business.
Right.
Okay. Number one, I realized that not only those are your core strengths, those are
Right.
core strengths, and you
Right.
are strongest in one of those. And I have a
Mhm.
quiz that helps you determine which one that is.
Okay.
It's been 99% spot on.
Yeah.
And once you determine that, you work your mindset and your thinking around those.
Mhm.
And that carries you into you. Everybody needs a framework.
Right.
Not everyone has one. When I say a framework, it's like your map, your business map. It's like putting everything you know into this map. So then when you create your programs, your offers, everything's congruent.
Mhm.
Your free gifts, your speaks, your talks, your speeches, your workshops, whatever it is, it comes back to that framework. Inside of that framework, you have again the AC system. And because all of your clients also have one of those strengths.
Right.
So, for instance, if you are trying to sell or invite people into your programs, and let's say I had this one woman who was very analytical and she was amazing with structure. But when she presented her offer, the people thought that's what they wanted and they backed away. And she couldn't understand why. And
Mhm.
that's because they are either an educator or they're more into the creative experiences. If you're a creative person, consistency doesn't come natural. You have to
Right.
work at it.
That's right.
And you'll do the checklists,
Right.
but they won't last. You
Right.
won't be able to continue with
Stick.
them. So
Mhm.
she had to either come up with the done with you
Mhm.
or a done for you or strip down all of her amazing, checklists and structure
Yeah.
because people think they want that, but when they're up against the wall with it, they really don't want to do that. They know they
And
need it.
yeah,
I would
and
say.
that comes to actually knowing like who your client is, right? Knowing your audience, because if you miss that mark, then you end up offering things that they either don't want or they can't be consistent with because it's not
Exactly.
how they learn, it's not how they process, right? It's not how they get the most benefit or results from what you have to offer.
And people beat themselves up all the time, especially over consistency. And
Yes.
then everybody just says, just be consistent. Like, what's wrong with you? Be
That's
consistent. There's nothing wrong with you.
nothing wrong with you. That's just how we're made.
It's like, I don't want to sit here with an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
give me a mind map or something
Yeah.
like that.
Something
I
you can
love
do.
those
You can
things.
do it.
I'll
Yeah.
do that all day long.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know that firsthand because I coach a lot of interior designers, and because they're
Oh,
creatives, right?
yeah,
So when we talk about things like consistency, when we talk about time blocking, that is, it's a challenge for them
it's a
because
challenge.
their minds don't operate in that way. And so to say, let's set out this time blocking framework and then follow it, oh my God, it is challenging
It's
because
very
that is
challenging.
a skill set that they don't have. But it's certainly something they can learn. But you have to be able to present it in a way that helps them to understand. And what I found was so funny, what I found with a couple of just talking with the clients. So sometimes it's easy for them to do time blocking if they say, I'm going to block out 9 to 12 on Mondays to do this. And then other times it's easier if they just say, I'm going to block out 2 hours. So you have to find what works best for
That's
you,
great.
especially as a creative, right? Because one may be way too restricted. The 9 to 12 thing may be way too restricted. And that's what I found in working with most of them is that's too restrictive. Just go to 2 hours because then you get to choose when you do that. And that still gives you the feeling of freedom and being able to be creative in the moment, right? And so you have to find, as a coach and as someone who's offering these services, you have to make certain that what you're offering aligns with your audience.
You really do. And the thing about that is a good point that you brought up is that if I talk just about myself, if I do that and I'm in a creative mode, like when I was developing this process,
Yeah,
I started off with, I thought I would do like an hour and just figure it out.
yeah,
But I couldn't stop.
yeah.
All
Sure,
day
you're
into the
elevated.
night, I was working on this one thing because it
Yeah,
kept coming out. And
yeah,
like when you're
yeah,
in that creative mode, if I step away, I'm not going to get it back. That's just
yeah,
like if you have an idea in the shower,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't write it down as soon as
Don't
you get
write
out
it
of the
down.
shower,
It's gone.
like it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
But
you need to
that's
have like a voice box and like you need to have like a I don't know, a
a
recorder
recorder.
in the
Yeah, in
shower,
the
you
shower.
know?
But I think that speaks directly to how we both work in that helping people to align
Yeah,
with their strengths, helping them to align with their core values, because then it sticks. If it's
yeah.
not aligned, it's just going to be another thing that you're trying to do, but you can't seem to be consistent with it because it's not a part of who you are or how you operate at a core level.
And then, you're not going to do it and then you're going to think you're a failure when you're not. It's
Yeah,
not anything, it doesn't have anything to do with being a failure.
at
That's
all.
the thing.
It's just you're just not aligned.
Yeah.
That's the key. You're not
Yeah.
aligned. You're not a failure because you're working hard and you're trying.
Yeah. Oh,
But if you're
definitely.
not aligned, you're absolutely right. You're gonna keep like missing the mark, and then it dings your confidence. Then you start to self doubt yourself. All of those things, right, start to come into play. Yeah,
And then guess what? Then you don't attract people to you.
absolutely,
That's the
absolutely.
really end result. And
Yeah.
that's what gets
Oh
hard
yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
you repel. It doesn't even matter if it's a client or a partner or a friend or
It
you know,
is.
a collaborator, anything, they can feel and sense that.
Yeah. So true. So very true. How do you how do you dig deep to be able to bring someone to that clarity that they need, that says this is it, this is the thing that makes my heart sing, this is the message, or these are the people, that thing, how do you bring them there?
It's a deep dive.
Okay.
I created a quiz. It took a good 6 months or more to put this whole thing together. And it starts off with the quiz because you have to analyze, you have to figure out where the strengths are. And sometimes, people obviously can have strengths in all three, but they're strongest in one.
Right.
And once they find that out, like they get a 9-page report
Mhm.
and we go through that report and that really brings people to light, that just like sheds so much light on things. And
Right.
then what I like to do is take them into a workshop where we audit their strengths and their business, and then there's an assessment. So it's a real deep process, and it's amazing what comes out of it. But
Yeah.
you need the space and you need the time to do this. And then people can just fly from there.
Right. I
Because
love
then
that.
we can go into like, if they have a framework, if they don't, we can edit or adapt it, or we can
Right.
develop it and then go from there, because it can affect your whole entire business. And
Exactly.
it's so enlightening to see people like, oh my God, I realize why, people are judging me on this and this, and I don't need to be judged. And now I'm free. Or if I want to do this and I don't like doing it, I'm going to hire someone, or I'm
Right.
going to collaborate, because this process brings people together,
Exactly.
because you concentrate on your strengths. Why have like good weaknesses when you can have amazing, brilliant strengths, and
Exactly.
then get other people who have strengths that you don't
Right.
pick up what you aren't good at. That
Yeah.
therefore you're collaborating with other people.
Right. That's so true. That is, I mean, I tell my clients all the time, there's something to be said about staying in your lane,
Yeah.
staying in the area where you are the expert, and then in the areas where you're not, get someone else that's their thing.
Yeah.
They are the expert at that, right? And oftentimes, especially as women entrepreneurs, we struggle with hiring help, hiring support, because we feel like, oh well, I could do that myself, or I could save money by doing that. But you're really not saving any money. You're costing yourself more time, and in the end more money, because you're focused on an area that's not your expertise. So it takes you longer, right? You have a learning curve, and you may never learn it because it's not your expertise, right? So I am all for like hiring people to do the things that I am not the expert in. I was just having a conversation with a coach that I'd work with, and love her program, love how she helps, and love how she teaches. But for me, I don't want to be taught a skill that it's not my expertise. Not to shun learning, but if, for instance, copywriting, not my expertise, nor do I want to spend 6 months learning it. I just don't,
It's a
right?
long process, and it
I want
keeps
to
changing.
coach. I want to
Yep.
coach. So my way is find the copywriter that's their expert and let them do that for me so that I can focus on coaching. That's how I view things, right? And some people are like, oh, well, you can save money. I'm not interested in saving money. I'm interested in saving myself time
Yeah.
and then giving myself more time to serve my clients in coaching, because that's what I love. And that's what I could spend all day doing. I do not want to spend all day trying to learn how to write copy. I would probably pluck my eyes out because it's not what I want to do, right? And to me it falls back to the stay in your area of expertise and collaborate with others to be able to help you to grow and build your business. Because the truth is you can't do it by yourself, no matter how much you think you can. You cannot grow a successful business by yourself. You
And
just can't.
I've tried that.
We all tried it.
We all, and here's the thing, um, with the areas that you're not good at, like dive into them a little bit so you know what goes on in those areas. And
Exactly.
so you know who to hire in those areas. Or when you hire someone and they're not doing what you think they should be doing, or they're not doing it right, then it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you completely ignore those areas. It means that you
Exactly.
get into them and then you realize this isn't for me,
This isn't
but
it.
I know what I need to have
Exactly.
done in that area.
Exactly. That's what I
Mhm.
say.
Yeah,
Learn enough to know what
exactly.
done looks like,
Yes.
right? So
And
that,
get out.
yeah, and get out, right? I can't tell you how many times I've tried to like jump into something technical, and I like know enough to be dangerous. Like I said, I know just enough to be dangerous.
Yep.
I built my first website years ago, 16 years ago. But now, do I want to tinker with the website and do updates on the web? No, I have someone for that. Now, she has shown me and taught me how I could go in and make changes
Yes.
and do
In a
certain
pinch.
things.
Absolutely.
Right. So I can go in and do it. But what I've learned over the years is if I can't do it in 5 minutes, it's not my area of expertise. Give it to her.
That's great. Yeah, that's
Give it to her.
yeah, I
So
like that.
I've learned to do that because if I get in there too much, I could mess up a whole lot of stuff, and I don't even know how I messed it up. Right? Oh,
Sure.
funny story. I did. I wanted to do like an impromptu masterclass one time, and I said, "Oh, I could do this. I could set up the registration in Zoom because I know there's a place you can register in Zoom, and and I could create the emails and send the emails out because I do know how to send an email from my CRM program. I could do this. This will take me no time. I set it all up, Deb. On the day of the masterclass, people were coming in, and there were a couple of people that came in and they had their names, but then everyone that came in after that was named Penelope. So first there was one woman named Penelope, and I kept trying to get her to unmute, and I kept saying, Penelope, can you unmute? And then I saw another woman come in named Penelope, and the first woman finally answered, unmuted, and said, well, my name's not Penelope. So then I saw 2 or 3 other people coming in, and their name's Penelope. And
Oh,
I'm like,
that's great.
what the heck is going on? Well, here's what happened. Penelope is the name that my tech person uses for testing. And somehow when I set up the Zoom, I sent the link to people and everyone's name was Penelope.
Oh,
So
that's great.
I know just enough to be dangerous, right? But I've learned, as you say, collaborate with others to be able to
Oh,
help
that's good.
to get to where you want to be. So yeah, I keep my fingers out of it. I
will
know
never forget that story.
because it was embarrassing, number one. But then it was so funny. It's like, oh my God. And so of course my tech person, she says, Samantha says, well, that's what you get for trying to do things on your own. That's why you have me. I'm like, I know, but I thought it would be this quick thing and just easy to do, right? Nothing in tech is ever easy.
No.
So I love how you put it, though, is collaborate with others to be able to get you where you want to be. Yeah, makes a big difference. So let's see, what else did I want to ask? Simplicity. Let's talk a little bit about that because I love simplicity. When you work with your clients, what is your thoughts around creating simplicity so that they can have, I like you say, the space to be more creative and to really to take action? Like, so what's your thoughts around simplicity?
Well, first of all, once they know their strengths, then we kind of really hit hard as to what they want to do. What do
Right,
they want to be doing? Forget
right,
about, how much money it's going to bring in. That comes later.
right,
But if
right.
you don't have this part down, you're not going to get the money later. It's not going to come
Exactly,
in. So,
exactly.
when we figure out what is it that you really want to be doing, like what's in your heart to do, and then once we do that and develop your framework,
Mhm.
that's where the simplicity comes into play. Because
Yeah,
even like this, for instance, the CS effect,
right.
and I'm big on threes because it's of
Okay.
balance.
I like threes
You
too.
know, and I went from 8, what is it, 7, 8,
Down.
8-step framework. Hello,
Yeah, yeah.
I was even like, oh my God, what did I do? Down to 3, the
Right,
AC system.
right,
And then it's the CS effect was 3. So if I have to go on to if I have to go into a talk really quick,
right. Mhm.
I don't even have to think about it. I talk
Right.
about the CS effect:
Yeah.
clarity, simplicity, creativity. That's
Yeah.
all I need to know. And I
Makes
could
it
talk
so
about that all
easy.
day.
Yeah.
So it simplifies it so I don't get nervous
Right.
thinking like, oh my God, I have to follow this speech and I have to, at 5 minutes, I have to clear.
Memorize.
And, it's
Right.
like, oh, forget that.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Um, but I can just talk about this and I know what I'm going to do.
Right.
I know what it is that I can
Yeah.
talk about. So it simplifies everything.
Yeah.
When
I
you
love that.
have that clear, and it comes with clarity first,
Mhm. Mhm.
then you can simplify.
Mhm.
Simplifying will change your entire life.
Yeah, I believe that. I so believe that. Oh my God. When I simplified things, it just made all the difference in the world. I so believe that. So what about the attraction part to attracting your ideal client? So when you get clarity and when you get the simplicity, then you're able to attract clients because your messaging and everything is clear, correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's where you can bring in your experiences, the creative experiences,
Right.
because, I know they say, like, and I'm a content person, but
Right.
I do not schedule my content 6 months in advance.
Right.
Even
Okay.
a month in advance is kind of hard, unless if I'm doing a series of something,
Right.
because things pop up. And maybe there's someone that really has a question, like has a bunch of questions about something, or a lot of people have questions about one thing. Well, I'm
Right.
going to get content out there that helps them
answers
through
those
that.
questions.
So you may have like your content calendar, but I don't faithfully follow that because things pop up. Or if something exciting pops up, I'm putting that on,
Exactly.
versus something else.
Right.
Or so the creativity part. So maybe like it's the experience. Because if you're creating experiences, you have to be creative in your thinking. And some people think, well, I'm not creative. It's like everybody has a creative bone in them. You just have to get it out. Creativity does not mean it's all about being artsy.
Right.
It's about creative ideas and
Mm-hmm.
creative solutions.
Mm-hmm.
That's where creativity comes in. And you can't run a business without being creative. I
Yeah.
mean, you can try to follow other people's footprint, and you can blueprints, footprints, whatever you want to call them, and you can follow your certifications and all that stuff. But in the end, if it's not you and you don't creatively come up with something that's uniquely yours, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
look like everybody else and you're
Exactly.
not going to stand out. And
Exactly.
that's what attracts people.
Right. Right. Yeah. Can't tell you how many times, oh my God, in the past that I just tried to follow what someone else was doing, right? You look at
Yeah,
all the gurus, the coaches
me
who are out
too.
there, and it's like,
Yep.
oh, they're doing that. I'm going to do that, right? But
Yep.
what was missing is there's a whole back end to everything. And you don't get to see that. You're only seeing what's in the forefront, and then you're trying to emulate it. It never, ever works. It never works. And then I learned that just because a strategy works for one coach doesn't mean that it will work for me because it's not in alignment with who
Exactly.
I am, how I want to show up, and my strengths.
Yeah.
So it may not work for me, right? But that's where a lot of people get hung up is because we are watching and we're looking at others. And, and of course, they always say comparison is the killer of all joy and
It,
everything.
it is. Yeah.
It can certainly kill your confidence in that you're trying these things and it doesn't work out for you. And it's not because you're doing something wrong, it's
No.
because you're not aligned.
And you can't let people tell you that you're not following it.
Right.
It works if you follow it. So
Right.
you should be successful. That's
Right.
not an answer. It
No,
really isn't.
it's not. It's because it doesn't work. It just doesn't work the same for everybody. There's so many nuances and variables involved. For
Mhm.
instance, if you do a master class and you have a thriving following, a thriving email list, and you do a master class, it's easy for you to get 50 people to register. It's easy for you to get 30 people to show up. But if I have a list and it's not an active list and I don't have an active following, I could do a masterclass and catch hell trying to get 3 people to show up. So you
Try
can't just say the strategy alone, if you do it, it will work for you. No, there's other variables, there's other things involved with why it works better for you than it does for me. It's like you can't compare apples and oranges. You have to compare apples to apples,
Yeah, you do.
right?
And even like I was in it was, I guess it would be considered a master class on summits.
Hmm.
And the expert was saying the formula is you have to find people that have a list of 7,000, no less.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can do this and make, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay.
Right.
So tell me, like, how do you direct people to find lists of 7,000? And are those 7,000 people, are they really like part of that person's ideal client?
Client, right, right. And just because they have a list of 7,000 and not just because, but because they have a list of 7,000 and you don't, are they going to be willing to show up for you? Are they going to be willing to promote for you? Because that's another lesson that I learned. Just because you get someone who may have the name and the notoriety and the fame and they're the guru or whatever, doesn't mean that it translates down to helping you. I did an event and I love doing like in-person events. And I did an event and it was right when I was doing some training with Les Brown because I became Les
Oh,
Brown
well.
certified. And I had his daughter come and speak at the event. Right.
Oh, that's
So I was
awesome.
on top of the world. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get
Yeah.
all these people. All these people are going to show up. Blah, 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 blah,
Wow.
blah, blah, blah. No, I got the same amount of people that I got the year before when I did it and it was just me. Why? Because I was, again, promoting to my audience. She didn't do a whole lot of promoting to hers. So
Oh, wow.
just
Okay.
because she
Huh.
is, famous or has the name, if they don't promote you, it doesn't translate down to getting more seats, more butts in the seats. So there's a lot of
Wow.
variables behind, and which is why I'm always speaking against trying to do things just because someone else is doing it or trying to pull in high names because you think it's going to help you to become well known. It doesn't always work that way. It just really doesn't, right? And knowing that there's pieces behind the scenes that you don't know.
No.
Oftentimes there's Facebook ads, right? That they don't tell you about.
Yeah, they
Like
don't tell you
what kills me is like I
Oops.
see the Facebook ads and the coach is saying things like, you don't need to run Facebook ads. But I'm reading this on your Facebook ad,
Oops.
right?
Oh,
But most people won't
I
notice
forgot
that.
that one detail.
Yeah. Most people won't notice that, right? But I've been around long enough and watched this long enough to know you got to look at all
Wow.
of the variables involved before you can listen to someone say, follow the formula and it'll work for you because it worked for me. Not always. Not always. So I like being genuine, right? And being honest and truthful about here's what's involved. If you pick a certain strategy, if you want to do a certain thing, here's what's involved. And if you're talking about ads, here's what's involved, both with time and money and resources and things that you have to put out there in order for this to be effective for you. You're not going to get the same result as someone who is pouring $10,000 a month into ads.
Yeah.
And you're going to start with $100 a month. You're not going to get the same results. But most people won't be honest about that and really say there's more to this than just doing what someone else is doing, right? That whole cookie cutter thing and then thinking that it's going to work well for you. You got
Well,
to
you know
compare
what
it.
else too is they don't it's the stage that you're in.
Mhm.
Like,
That's
if
another
I'm
point.
in stage 1 versus stage 3, like
Right.
what I should be concentrating on things in stage 1, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I like that you put it that way because that's very true. That's and often we're looking at people that are in stage 10. We're like, I can do that because I did it. I know. I've tried so many things,
Did
but
it
that
work?
thought, I didn't think of it that way because I didn't know at the time.
Did it
And
work?
no, no,
No.
failed miserably. It's like, but then I turn it on me and internalize it and go, what did I do wrong? Why isn't it working for me? Right? All those things. But as you said, it was because this person's in stage 10, I'm in stage 1. And I don't know all the back end pieces. So I was only putting together what I could see. There's
Mm.
more in the background. Yeah. Yeah. So I love what you do. I love what you do. It really helps us to dive deep into who we are and how we can use our strengths to have the same results the results that we need for whatever stage we're in. I love that. I love
And
that.
in your heart, and it's not, I guess, I know it doesn't sound businessy,
Right.
but for an entrepreneur, it means the world because that's where your business comes from.
Comes from. It is. It really is. But like I know in my heart when if a coach says do this, you should do this, but it's I don't feel it. I'm not, it's not going to be
Yeah.
successful for me, right? And sometimes people will push back and say, "Well, you have to do things that you don't enjoy doing." It's not about that. It's,
Yeah,
it's
I really dislike that. Oh,
that gets my goat every time because it's not about that. I don't mind doing things that I don't enjoy doing, but what I do mind is doing a lot of things that are not in alignment with how I want to do them or how I want to show up because it's a drudgery for me to try to do it.
excuse
Bless
me.
you. Bless you. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Yeah. 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 Uh-oh, go ahead.
Well, it must
Bless
be the
you.
Oh
Comes
my
in
goodness.
threes.
I have
Comes in
to show
threes.
you this. Do you see this mug?
Oh, that's cute.
It's
I
a
love
whale's tail.
that is cute.
Isn't that
Oh,
cute?
that is adorable. Oh, the small things in life.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah, but I dislike that as well. Like, you have to do the things that you don't want to do. I know that.
I
Yeah.
once had a coach tell me, maybe you should go out there and get a job while you're doing this.
You know what? You are about the third person I've heard say that.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. And that just, oh my God, that just, I think it really does a disservice to coaches or mentors or people that are trying to help other people. Because why would you say that? Why would you even have that as a response to anything?
I
It's almost like you're killing the person's dream. That you can't do
I
that.
think you need to take the time to understand the person. Like,
Yeah,
where are they coming from? Where is their mindset? Where is the block that they're having that if they remove that, they could easily jump to the next step? I mean, that's
exactly.
kind of like the easy way out.
Hmm.
It's the
Hmm.
harder things, like what you and I are dealing with. It's the harder things that you have to press through to
Right.
get to where you want to go. And that's where sometimes a lot of people get stuck. I mean, I've been there, you've been there.
I've been there. Yeah,
Once you clear those blocks, it makes all the difference in the world. It
it
doesn't have
sure
anything to do
does.
with, well, maybe you should do this or you should do
Yeah.
that.
It's the blocks, which is why what makes my heart sing is the mindset part, because
Yeah,
there's a lot of mental blocks and internal barriers that keep us from taking the next step, that keep us from moving to the next level, right? And if you don't really address those, then the person can't do the things that you're suggesting that they do or showing
exactly.
them that they can do. I tell people all the time, I can give you the playbook. I can tell you do ABC 1, 2, 3, but if what's going on here is preventing you from taking a step, doesn't matter that you have the playbook. You have playbook all year long. But if your mindset is number one in a place where you do not believe that this is possible for you, that's the first step.
Yeah,
You're never going to take the action to do it. And even if you take the first action, it is met with such resistance because you don't have a belief that it's possible for you,
exactly.
right? So it starts there. That's why I said mindset first. For me,
It
mindset's
is.
always first. It's always first. And mindset over strategy, because you have to have the right mindset in order to implement the strategies.
Well, also, in order to design the strategies and
You got to
choose
have
the strategies that work
that.
for you. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all you can't have mindset without strategies, and you can't have strategies without
That
mindset.
mindset. Yeah. Go together. Go together. Yep. That's my sweet spot.
Yeah, like peanut butter and jelly, right?
Yes.
Like,
They go well together. They go well together.
can't have
Wow. But
one
Deb, I
without
can
the
talk
other.
to you. Yeah. I can talk to you all day long about this, because this is what really, again, touches my heart and gets me going, right? Um, so let me ask you this, some words of wisdom. If you had to speak to someone early in their entrepreneur journey, what would be some solid words of wisdom that you would give
Well, I would first ask them what it is that they really want to be doing.
them? Hmm.
Like what is it? You know, what results do you want to get for people, and why?
Hmm.
And do you really feel strongly about that? Do you feel good about it?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's not picking a tactic or picking, let's just do, I don't know, the tactic of the day. It's not
Right.
about that. It's about, you know, what is it? What is your vision? Like, what is it that you really want to do? And then figure out what the next step is.
What the next step is. I like that. Very much in alignment with what I believe. So give me your favorite book. What's your favorite book?
I would probably say, you know, it's funny because I have a couple of Steve Jobs books here
Okay.
that goes
Okay.
with creativity, but one that stands out to me, and I always have it by my desk, is this.
Jamie Kerr Worth.
It's worthy. How to
Worthy.
believe you are enough and transform your life. Simple steps, life-changing results.
And who's the author on that again? Jamie.
Jamie Kern Lima.
Oh wow, I'm gonna have to look that up.
She
Okay.
she was the founder of It Cosmetics.
Oh, okay.
She went
Nice.
through, oh my gosh, the stuff that that girl has gone through, amazing.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And she came out like she's a billionaire.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, she was beaten to the pulp. to get
Thank
there,
you.
but she endured it. Like, it's amazing what she did, and like her book is just really enlightening. I would highly recommend it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right, my dear. And how can our listeners connect with you?
I'm on LinkedIn and I'm on Facebook, and so I'd love to have you connect with me there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you mentioned a quiz that you have that kind of helps you do a deep dive. Is that quiz a part of your framework, or is it something that you offer as maybe a freebie or something that you offer standalone?
It's a part of the program. I used to offer it as a freebie, but people just didn't do it, or they thought they could do it on their own and they didn't quite get the idea behind it. So
Right.
now what I do is I actually have a free gift, the CS effect, creating
Okay.
space.
Okay.
And it's actually called, I recently changed the name
Okay.
to the Profit Melt Rescue Guide,
Oh, nice. Okay.
because it goes through an assessment of those three, the clarity, the simplicity, and the creativity. And
Okay.
then you find out where your profits are melting and dripping.
I
And
like
so
that.
this helps you, rescue those drips.
Right.
So I have that guide that I'd love to have anyone interested in, understanding where they're at,
Absolutely.
because
Okay.
that's
And they can
really
get
the
that.
first part
Right.
before you even get to like a quiz in the strengths, because you have to know kind of those three areas and where
Gotcha.
you need space, and what's happening in your business.
Right. Nice. Nice. Can they get that on your website?
Actually, they can, and I do have a link that is just, my website is imattermarketing.com.
Okay. Okay.
And so the link is imattermarketing.com/PMR,
Okay.
or Profit Melt Rescue.
EMR. Got it. We'll make sure we put that in the show notes so that people can get to it as well. All right, Ms. Deb, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It has been my pleasure. And of course, we will definitely stay in touch. And I will send you all of the information that you need to be able to promote your episode. I will tell you that yours will air on August 7th.
I'm
August
sorry.
7th.
Oh,
August 7th.
oh,
So
wow. Okay.
I will make certain that you have all of you'll get some graphics, you'll get, some snippets and stuff that you can be able to use to promote your time with me here.
Oh,
And I
thank
would
you so
appreciate
much. This was
you.
wonderful. I really enjoyed our conversation,
I did too. Thank you
and
so
I
much
love
for
what you're
being
doing.
here. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you all for being here and listening. Remember, designing your victory is a choice, and you get to start today. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Well, my amazing ones, that's your focus shift for today. If it sparked a new thought, follow the show and share it with a friend who's also ready for clarity. For those of you that have been following me, I want you to know I truly appreciate you. For those that are new to me, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you continue to follow. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Sharing is caring. Want to keep the momentum going? Check the show notes for my newest free resource. You can be sure it's most timely to help you take your next confident step. I'll meet you next Thursday for another dose of mindset and strategy tailored for the business and life you truly want. Remember, designing your victory is a choice. Start with one clear, purposeful action today.